Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Brainwad, and today I'm going to be reading a creepypasta story. So I hope you're somewhere safe and sound, because this creepypasta is called The Music Box. I don't recall ever seeing an actual music box. I mean, sure, I'd seen them on television, but I've never actually held one. Why is this relevant, you may ask? Well, what I have to say about some things I've experienced recently involve sounds that can only come from a music box. It was earlier this very day, a couple of hours ago, that I first noticed that something out of the ordinary was occurring. I was in the middle of sweeping and mopping my kitchen floor, playing music from my iPod while I worked. It was as I was dragging the bleach-drenched mop over my kitchen floor towards the wooden gate that led to the living room when the notes first reached out to me, above the loud outro of Metallica's Fade to Black. The notes sounded eerily similar to the music you'd hear from an old music box. The music sounded like it was coming from our second story, a place we mainly use for storage. At first I thought it sounded awfully similar to Happy Appy's theme song, you know, from the Creepypasta. Then all of a sudden the music stopped, and everything went silent. I shrugged it off as my imagination and continued with my chore. I heard nothing more for a while until I showered after doing some yard work. I still had my iPod playing, this time Within Temptation's Shot in the Dark, when I started to hear a thumping sound, like a hammer pounding a nail into the wall. The sound persisted for a full minute or more. I simply shut it out and went about my business. The sound then came back. A combination of both noises this time. Curious, I peeked above the stairs. The power didn't work up there, so everything was bathed in darkness. Slowly I ascended the stairs and heard the music and thumping grow louder. Then I heard soft sobbing coming from everywhere, it seemed, begging for the thumps to stop. I reached the top of the stairs and turned left, then right, to investigate both rooms of the second story. When I spun around, looking into the older room to the left of the stairway, I saw what I perceived to be a white glow proceeding towards me. Feeling my anxiety grow and my heartbeat and breathing pick up, I began to go down the carpeted stairs. Keeping my gaze on the landing, I grasped for the wooden handrail and descended faster. Then I saw a sight that almost stopped my heart. The glow that I thought I saw presented itself as a crawling corpse. I saw the severed body from the slight illumination that came from the light downstairs. It was of a woman, about 30, whose being had been cut in half from her waist down. She crawled down the stairs toward me with a slow zombie-like persistence. I heard faint whispering coming from her, inaudible murmurs, as we approached the start of the stairway. A bloody trail dragged behind her. Her voice became clear.
"You didn't help me. Why did you allow me to suffer?"
I couldn't believe it. "Listen, I'm sorry, I didn't know." My heart began to break for the woman. In a voice that grew more demonic, she stated,
"You heard me screaming. You heard the saw hitting my flesh. Why didn't you save me?"
This was becoming too much. I burst into tears then. "I'm so sorry, I wish I could have done something." My iPod was no longer playing. Instead, the audio was replaced by a chilling voice. "You had the choice to save her, and you ignored her cries. How can you live with yourself knowing that you could have prevented the end of this human life?" I noticed the voice was mine. What in the world? My mind was racing a million miles an hour. I found myself backed into a wall, into a corner, unable to move. The corpse crept closer and closer as I began to sob heavily. "You deserve the same fate." I was afraid that my flesh was going to be ripped apart. Instead, the woman's body reached me. Her hands grasped my legs. I felt a tingle all over my body, and I screamed at the top of my lungs. All of a sudden, I was in that same corner, completely intact. What had just happened? I decided against my better judgment and investigated. Upstairs, I found an old hacksaw, bloody, and a note that simply read, "Welcome to the frayed ends of sanity." I went back downstairs and proceeded to cry and rock back and forth in the fetal position. I heard the woman's voice in my head.
"Welcome home. You're going to like it here."
For the rest of my days, I'll be hopelessly cringing at every noise. I have nothing to say except, if you hear a music box, run. Run for your life, or risk insanity. So that was my reading of The Music Box. The original author is just named Fearless, and I'll put a link to this creepypasta down below. But yeah, this one really was kind of creepy. I mean, you know, the thing is about this one that I had read it a while ago, and I kind of remember it having a different ending, but I couldn't find the one that I remember reading. I just found this one, which isn't a bad ending either. Just the other one that I had originally read was like the creepiest ending ever. Or maybe I just thought that I read something like that. But this one I really, really do like it. There is just the thing where the whole main thing is about a music box, and that really doesn't come into play except for, you know, that she hears the sound. She never really said, though, like, I saw a music box, you know, she says, like, I didn't see any music box, but I know that this sound would come from one. So, I mean, that is kind of a pass for me. I really did like this story, and it was kind of one of the only stories okay, like, let me tell you this. Whenever I'm trying to read creepypastas so that I can draw a creepypasta, it takes me a very long time. A lot of the ones that I'm looking for, a lot of the ones that I'm reading aren't really like what I'd like to be drawing, so it takes me a very, very long time to actually find one that I like enough to illustrate. So I did find this one, and I drew it a while ago. I just haven't had the time to do the voiceover until today, and it's actually 11 o'clock at night, and I'm home alone, and I was just like, you know what, let's do it. I don't know why, because I'm crazy, I guess, but yeah, so I'm just so happy to finally have another creepypasta done, because the creepypasta, I think I have only 3 on my channel, and those are like my most popular videos. I know a lot of people really like them, because LavenderTowne, a huge like art influence to me, she does them a lot, and I know people really, really like them, and I really like them too. So I'm finally happy to be doing another one, and I do also have a surprise having to do with creepypastas that should be my next video too, so keep a lookout for that. But I guess let me talk a little bit about the actual drawing. So I just wanted to kind of draw a girl with a music box. I didn't want to make her really ugly because it is kind of supposed to be art. I know I could have gone the ugly route, but I just wanted to keep her a little bit younger, a little bit prettier. I didn't really want to do something that was going to be very ugly. I wanted it to be really nice to look at. And I am really, really happy with her, my drawing. She's really pretty, and I haven't really drawn anything that pretty in a while, so I am very, very happy with that. But yeah, this is actually the end of the video. So thank you guys so, so much for watching, and be sure to let me know what you thought about this creepypasta, and if you have any other creepypastas that you want me to read or illustrate. Yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thank you so, so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.